Guys, I know I'm late. Just a few things. Driving in Wales is an absolute fucking nightmare. I'm telling you, down to 20 degrees, 20 mile an hour in some areas, and it's been snowing here as well. In the last hour, it's been snowing here, and you always get one idiot that causes a traffic accident, don't you? In this kind of weather. Never mind, that just delayed me. We do have a guest coming on, as per usual. He's having problems with his mic, anyway, welcome to Football Brownie. Hope you're well, keeping safe, keeping each other safe, and spreading that love in the big bad world of it. Let's go into the chat now. I apologize. I haven't updated the channel figures. I do apologize, but all of them are up. Let's go in the chat anyway. Randy's here. Stefan late, Mr. Yeah, I know. Honestly, I did foresee that it's going to be slightly late. Lenny's in the chat. Hi, Lenny. Hope you're well. Let's be having you, Mr. Brown. I know. I do apologize. I know that it's all. It's been the first kind of late night for a few days. Last night, I'll be completely honest with you. Last night, after Wales defeat, I couldn't be absolute arsed, if I'm honest with you. Look, we lost. It hasn't hit me as bad as losing to Romania in '93. That was for the national side. That was the biggest heartbreak for me. I think the difference between then and now is at that time I never seen Wales in a major tournament. Now I've seen them in 3 different tournaments now, the 2 Euros and the World Cup. Well, try doing a World Cup, I suppose, but yeah. So maybe it's that is the reason why it didn't hit me as bad as the Romania defeat did in '93. Look, I had a funny feeling it would go to penalties. You couldn't really. Before kickoff, I couldn't decide who was going to win. I thought, very much of a muchness. Did either keeper actually have the opportunity to make a save until the penalties? Look, just one of them things. Wales have got a young team, young squad. Let's hope that they learn from this and move on, I suppose. Sorry, I was digressing a bit. Stan is in the house. Hi, Stan. Hope you're well, mate. Randy, most unprofessional show. Of course it is. You wouldn't love it otherwise, Randy. You wouldn't love it otherwise. Oh, Sam Greenwood's in the house. Hi, Sam. Hope you're well. I was just doing this and that. And it was mainly because of a traffic accident in the snow caused my delay, really. Hawkwind, or shall I say, Stephen Hawkins is in the chat. Sorry, wait. Hawkwind, hope you well, my friend. You're late, yes. Daddy Sam, yes, he's in the house. Where is this bloody guest of mine? There you go. There he is. Mike works perfectly fine. Well, we are the most unprofessional show on YouTube. Come on, you should know that by now, Mr. Tom. I don't know if it's coincidence, but when Brownie goes live, I get... Oh, hang on, Randy. Less of that talk. What are you talking about now? Well, I don't know. I'm thinking, to be honest, I'm thinking of going back to StreamYard anyway. Right, he's coming. Let's try him again. Right, bear with me. What the fuck? Hang on. Why am I going through now? Hang on, guys. 1 second. I'm gonna have to refresh. There you go. I don't know why. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, sir.
Yay! I don't know what happened. Maybe I needed to refresh. I don't know. Anyway, Mr. Tom, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. I do apologize. I know slightly late, but it was one of those things where I couldn't do anything, man. Is it snowing where you are? No?
No, it was raining, but
Well, welcome to Wales, I suppose. Anyway, how are you feeling? What have you been up to?
I had some time off work, so I've been. I'll be lying. I've not really been doing much.
Good on you. Good on you. Hey, nothing wrong with a bit of relaxing, Tom. Did you watch a Wales game last night?
No, I didn't. I'm afraid. I must admit, though, I did cringe. I'll tell you exactly what happened. I saw it. It said Peds next to Poland's name, and I was like, "Please don't be a Leeds player. Please don't be a Leeds player." And then I looked, and it was like, "God damn it, Daniel James! God damn it!"
Yeah, I know. If I'm honest with you, as the penalties went on, because nobody missed a penalty right into the last one, and as the penalties went on, I just had a funny feeling that I just a good feeling. I was quite positive before first penalty was taken. I was quite positive, but as everyone was scoring, that just nightmare feeling come on. And listen, I know he's a Swansea bastard, but and unfortunately, someone has to miss, and it was Dan James.
Yeah, that's it.
You know?
There has to be a villain for there to be a hero.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe it's me being older, Tom. But I think it's mainly because I've already seen Wales in 3 tournaments now. But going back, don't know if you remember, but 95, trying to qualify for USA 94, we lost home to Romania. That was so much gut wrenching when last night. You know.
Is that more because it had been pretty much a lifetime since you'd been to a tournament, whereas now you've been there? So.
Yeah, I think so. Let's go back into the chat. I do apologize. Brownie, you support the Socceroos since you know what, I haven't watched much of them, to be honest, apart from in the World Cup. So I'm gonna have to jump down a bit. Hang on 1 second. I know you all haven't got me. Who said it? It was a big problem. Aways. Super Cycles out. Yeah, they are, mate. But yeah, so is Daniel James getting attacked by trolls? I don't know, mate, to be honest. I don't know. Tom, can you answer that question? Have you heard anything?
I've not. But let's be fair, he is white, so
Might be a few Cardiff trolls, I suppose, but I not for what I'm aware. Anyway, Lewandowski took a nice penalty. Yeah, it was a few nice penalties, to be quite honest with you. I thought that Kiefer Moore was going to put his into Rose Ed, but he come in on off a post. There was quite a few good penalties. Lenny said overall, very good team, good both sides until Daniel James. Yeah, someone had to do it. Unfortunately,
was it? I've not seen it. Was it more good save or bad penalty?
I think probably. I don't know. People in the chat may disagree, but I'd say maybe 65-35 in favour of a bad penalty. Not much in it, if I'm honest with you, Tom. Not much in it. Sam Greenwood said Romania went on to do quite well in USA 94. Yeah, they did. Bulgaria actually went further. Bulgaria went further, but yeah, they did. I think Romania, top of my head, I think Romania went into Argentina's group, did they? I can't remember.
No, they beat Argentina in the second round, if I remember rightly.
I remember we played Argentina.
They won 3-2. They lost to Sweden on penalties in the quarterfinal.
That's right. And then the next one, because you had Georgie Hadji, Roger Choyu, Popescu, and the next World Cup in '98, they dyed all their hair blonde. Do you remember that?
I do. Then they played Colombia, I believe, off top.
I think the coach blamed the defeat when they got knocked out. He blamed it, said God didn't like the fact that they dyed their hair. That was the excuse.
It was the final group game. They died, and the commentator's nightmare, wasn't it? Because he didn't know
who Poland were crap in the World Cup in 2018.
Didn't Tottenham buy loads of Romanian players after the '94 World Cup?
They bought Dimitrescu and Popescu. Gigi Popescu and Igor Dimitrescu. Florian Radichoyu went to West Ham.
Yeah.
I don't think he stayed there long. I think there's a running joke about his stay at West Ham.
There for a cup of coffee.
But obviously, Hadji had his move to Barcelona then, didn't he? Was it Barcelona or Real Madrid? Because he played for one, and then he went to Italy, and then went back and played for the other one.
Not to say, I know he played for Galatasaray in the UEFA Cup when they won it. So, but I don't know if he played for out of that World Cup. But
yeah, he played for one, for Barcelona or Real Madrid. Then he went to Brescia in Italy. And then after that World Cup, then he went back and played for the other one. That's what a lot of them actually do, rather than a transfer from Real to Barcelona. They normally pre-arrange another club where a player goes to that other club, so that the actual transfer between them both never happens. Greece winning the Euros. What was all that about? Oh, tell me about it.
It's atrocious. I remember, right? I mean, at the time, you get caught up in like the underdog story, but they should never have won that because it was boring. They literally stoked the competition to death.
And in the final, they beat Portugal in their backyard, didn't they?
Didn't they beat them twice?
Oh, I don't know, but something tells me, I'm sure.
First match and last match, if I remember rightly.
Because I know that happened in '88 with Holland and Russia. Russia actually beat the Dutch in the first match in the group stage. And then in the final, Holland beat Russia, where you had Van Basten and a volley.
I can't help myself. I'm going to have to check this.
Yeah, no problem. Stefan says still in a decent right. Yeah, but they've had the ups and downs, but it is a young squad, mate. It's but yeah, Lenny, I agree. He made the save, but it wasn't. It wasn't right. Because I know that it's coming up in social media or YouTube often at the moment. Who is a better footballer? Guys in the chat, let me know what you think. Who is a better footballer, Fowler or Owen? I'm gonna be quite biased. I let you know why. Oh, Mr. Tom will probably be biased anyway, because Mr. Tom being a Leeds fan, me being a Cardiff fan, Robbie Fowler played for Cardiff and played for Leeds, because the same guy took him to Leeds, who took him to Cardiff, because it was Peter Ridsdale, and he bought more houses in the Cardiff area than he did played games for Cardiff. That's for sure. Absolute complete waste of time. His transfer to Cardiff. What do you feelings on Fowler?
I was more disappointed with how it turned out, in the context that we were then paying Man City to take him off our hands, because that's how badly our finances were. It was basically we were paying part of his wages, basically, so we didn't have to pay him 50 grand a week. Yeah. Man City take him off our hands, and we'll pay 10 grand of the 40. Sorry, you're paying 50 grand a week to top up, and we'll pay 10 grand of it just to get 40 grand a week off the wage bill. And I thought it was nonsense.
That's what happens when Peter Ridsdale is in charge of your club.
Of course it is. Try to buy the dream and all that.
Yeah. To be honest, because he won the Ballon d'Or, not many people actually know this, but Michael Owen did win a Ballon d'Or. So because of that, I go for Owen being better than Fowler. Would you agree with me on that, Tom?
I think Michael Owen, when he burst on the scene, was immense, but I'd be hard pressed to. It's a really hard one to judge, because the Michael Owen pre-injury, the big injury that took the yard of pace off of him, was unplayable. Let's just say, but then after it, not as unplayable. Let's just say.
Guys in the chat, what do you think? What do you think? Stefan, do you remember Romanian keeper? It wasn't a Romanian keeper. It was the Bulgarian keeper. Bulgarian keeper in 94. And I'm trying to think of his name. It wasn't Lexkov. Lexkov was actually the bald guy.
Yeah, he scored against Germany. It was diving header. It was great. I've only seen that goal a million times on the USA 94 VHS, the goals of the tournament VHS that I had. I wore that thing out like it was a porno.
Lexkov, he played in Germany at that time. But who was a fucking goalkeeper now?
Mikhailov.
Was it Mikhailov? Or
could be. It sounds right. It sounds Bulgarian.
Someone said it in the chat today.
No, it sounds Bulgarian enough.
Dimitrescu.
Let's have a look. Let's go on the trusty internet.
Owen beats Fowler for pace, but not the rest.
Oh my!
Rumours needs with sex. Why would Robbie Fowler? I remember Robbie Fowler. He was sniffing the line, when he scored against Everton, and they were all on.
Goalkeeper Mikhailov.
Oh, boys!
Unbelievable!
Well done, Tom. Well done. I remember Robbie Fowler having Everton fans were taunting him about his cocaine abuse, or allegedly, let's call it. And he scored a penalty, and then he was sniffing the byline, wasn't he?
He got in a lot of trouble for that. I remember it being a big controversy.
Yeah.
I mean, not as big a controversy as like karate kicking someone in the crowd, but at the time, it was a fairly big deal.
Wasn't it a Romanian player who passed away called Popov? I don't know, but it was a Popov. I tell you something. Wales played a playoff against Russia. No, I'm trying to think now. 2000, I think it may be 2003. And they had a playoff against Russia. And we went to Moscow, and 0-0. And that was my last Wales away game. It was fucking murders on it, to be honest. But then we played them at home for the second leg, and we lost 1-0. Now, Russia had a player called Popov, right? After the game, he played very well, actually. After the game, this Russian guy Popov, fails a drug test, right? And it was proven that it was a performance-enhancing drug. So then Wales then complained to the guy got banned. UEFA banned him, but they they still upheld Russia's entry to, must have been the World Cup, I think. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so
I love how you have a story, and I'm sitting there, I'm listening to it, and I'm thinking, I bet Stefan doesn't even know if there was a plaque called Pop Off. I think he was just doing the joke about popping off.
Oh, right, okay. But yeah, no. I'm sure his name was Pop Off. Anyway, Les Ferdinand should add more caps. Do you agree?
I agree to some extent. I mean, I kind of understand why he didn't. I think Stan goes on to bring up like Sheringham getting the nod and in the comments and that, but
yeah,
there was a time where obviously Les Ferdinand was just I believe the term on the street is he was a bags man. He just bags goals.
Yeah.
But we were spoiled for choice at the time, arguably.
And by all accounts, I'm sure I've heard Stuart say that Les Ferdinand was his best strike partner he played with. Up in Newcastle. But yeah, you couldn't put him ahead of Sheringham, in my opinion. Stuart said something else, but as Sam says, right, Ted Sheringham, Andy Cole, and it was only ever two striking positions in the starting 11. And England had a variety of different strikers and different type of strikers as well they could have gone for, and unfortunately, the likes of Fowler and Ferdinand, they were others ahead. Andy Cole, the amount of goals Andy Cole scored.
I do miss those times though, because it was a time when the English team, like there was a certain amount of pride put back into the England team, as opposed to now when it's like it's an excuse to for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Chris Nicks, Michael Owen any day. I think so.
Do excuse me a minute, Brownie. I'll be back.
No worries. I'll just. Am I going to Michael Jackson the musical? No chance. I don't know. Sam says Chris adores Antonio being a Hammers fan. Even the Hammers fans are saying he's had his day now. What did I say? Right. There you go. The dentist chair. That's when Gaza put the ball over Colin Hendry's head, wouldn't it? And hit it coming down on the valley. Still in time. Is it still in Thailand? Must be worth. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. It must be worth a few quid. Fuck this. Tell us a match. You know what, Stefan? I'm not kidding you. I did fucking a story did come to me. Oh, I tell you, yes, that's what it was. Right. I really don't know why, right? I really don't know why. I really don't. Oh, what's he doing now? I really don't know why. Anyway, guys, right? But a memory of my holiday come to me early on, right? Now, in the first jail in which I was in, basically, I was there for the first 3 months. No, it was the second. Yeah, it was a second jail. But yeah, I was there for 3 months, right? And then what you had there was basically there wasn't separated whatever crime you were accused of. Everyone just was in a jail. So it wasn't like this section for I don't know drug cases, that section for fighting cases, and it wasn't. It was just everyone, And I'll be honest with you, a few like pedophiles, some fucking strange and mad fuckers there as well, right? but this one time a group of about 4 Indian lads, right? They come in, and basically because you're bored, the moment new people would come in, you're on to them straight away. You want to hear different stories. So 4 Indian lads come in, and they all had, like they work polo shirts, right? They had work polos. So on the back was written, was it? It was either jewelers, something jewelers, or something gold billion or whatever, right? So as welcome them to their new home type of thing, right? We started telling a story. Now listen to this, Tom. Yeah, I don't know why it came to me earlier on, maybe, right? But listen to this, Tom, and people in the chat. Right, you had 4 guys. They all were working for a gold company, right? Which basically you take your old gold, they would melt it down and create something. You know what I mean. Like create whatever piece of new gold jewelry you want. Now the owner of that business, after a while, right? They knew how to do it. The owner didn't, just arm's length. He didn't even need to be in a shop. But the owner of the business always give them, I can't remember the actual figure, but for example, 5% leeway, right? For scrap. Right? So, you could always, but the guy who was making it was so good at his job, they were pocketing the 5% of gold on everything they were doing. Now, this went on for about 3 years, right? And until somehow the owner had his suspicions. So they turned up to work one morning, and all of a sudden the police were there, the CID were there waiting for them. And one of them completely confessed the whole project. And that was why they were in there, because basically for 3 years they were pocketing the 5% scrappage of gold which the owner was giving to them, and pocketing it. They were making thousands. There you go. That's a bit of a mad story, Tom.
I feel like I walked in halfway through the story, and I can't. You let me in at the moment. You went, there was this Indian man, and I thought, hang on a minute.
No. But basically, that's what they were so good at their job. They were pocketing the 5% leeway they were going. Sure, they were making a fortune. Moss is in the house. Hi, Moss. Hope you well. Now I've completely missed this fucking chat. There you go. Alonso. Hi, Alonso. Hope you well. Ethan. So, Tom, we're talking, finally now we're back to club football. So, Leeds, what have you got on the weekend?
Play Watford on Friday night. The dreaded Easter fixture list.
Let me get the fixtures up here. You carry on talking for a minute, mate.
Basically, or historically, our season usually hinges/falls apart on the Easter fixture list. Like the first Bielsa season, we were winning 1-0 against Watford. No, not Watford, sorry, Wigan, who ended up getting relegated, I believe. And then they had a player sent off, and then we ended up losing 2-0 or 2-1, sorry. And that was
right. What we on? Yeah, we're on Thursday. Okay, so tomorrow, right? It's Thursday now in the UK. So tomorrow. So tomorrow. It's a full, because it's Easter. It's a full calendar in a championship. Is it tomorrow as well?
Yep, and Monday.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to do some kind of watch along. Right. So tomorrow we got Bristol City, Leicester, Millwall, West Brom, Sheffield Wednesday, Swansea, Huddersfield, Coventry, Norwich, Plymouth, Cardiff, Sunderland, Hull, Stoke, Southampton, Middlesbrough. That could be a good game, actually. QPR, Birmingham. That'd be a very good game down the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Preston, Rotherham, Blackburn, Ipswich, and as Tom just said, Watford against Leeds. Then on Monday, Leicester, Norwich, Plymouth, Bristol City, local derby. Well, localish. Birmingham, Preston, Rotherham, Millwall, West Brom, Watford, Sunderland, Blackburn, Middlesbrough, Sheffield Wednesday, Swansea, QPR, Stoke, Huddersfield, Coventry, Cardiff, Ipswich, Southampton. Now that's a good. I bet Stefan is on it. He'd be wanking himself off if Ipswich do take a 3 point straight and Leeds Hull. That's a localish derby as well, isn't it? Leeds Hull.
Mm-hmm. I need 6 points.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be arrogant about it. I don't care how. We need the 6 points. It's as simple as that.
Let's have a look at the table for a minute. All right. Now we know that Leeds are top. But still, Leicester got that game in hand. But look at the form. Look at the Leicester form. You don't want that kind of form at this time of the season, do you?
I like other teams having that form.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know you're playing Hull on Monday, but look at their form. Draw. Which that kind of form has allowed Norwich to take that last place in the playoffs at the moment. And then you go down and Cardiff. That defeat against Swansea, fucked us. That's fucked us now. Down the bottom, that's where I'm more interested in, right? Because normally by this time of the season, Tom, is that you got at least one or two clubs absolutely dead and buried. Now, Rotherham are dead and buried, let's be completely honest. Right, but when you go from 23rd, Sheffield Wednesday on 38 points. Now, bear in mind, 3 teams go down. You can go from 23rd to 17th. I think Swansea beating Cardiff the other week. I think that's then. But I think it's 2 teams from 16th, Millwall down.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing a championship yourself, who do you want to go down and who do you think will go down?
Oh, I'll tell you what, I think it'd be really funny if they went down. And I don't mean the misfortune or the actual...
Birmingham,
Sorry?
You're going to say Birmingham.
I'm 100% going to say Birmingham.
I knew you'd say Birmingham.
Yeah, but everyone's going to say Birmingham, right? Because who had them in the playoff places and was trending quite well for them because they wanted to do sexy football or whatever it was, and because they saw they had 30 big bollocks, Rooney willing to be there, and then he's basically led them to the basement.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with John Eustace when he was a manager. Like, people are saying that the results were better than their performances, but that they still were in the playoffs. But that NFL player is part owner of Birmingham, isn't he?
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
That's actually part of the reason that I want them down, is not because of Tom Brady specifically. He's done nothing wrong. It's probably a poor choice in football team to invest in, arguably. But, I mean, if he wanted a League One team, he looks like he's made a great choice. But saying that, I genuinely feel when he first invested, they happened to be playing Leeds. And I remember this they won 1-0, last-minute penalty, ironically given away by Daniel James, but another story. Right, Dan and penalties, eh? But this is genuinely true. The first game they had was Leeds at St Andrews, and he was there in attendance, obviously publicity and all this, and basically ITV, the highlight show that they do, was the footballing equivalent of they couldn't have got on their knees and filleted him fast enough. They were proper sucking him off, right, pardon my language. But so I sat there and just like, okay, I'll remember this. Well, they're going to come to Ellen Road at some point. We'll see how it goes from then. I mean, we murdered them, but I don't mean to sound down when I say that, but it was a kind of like, you would have thought and I'm not going to get all celebration policey, because it weren't their fault, but the way they were treated by the media was like the second coming of Christ had arrived at St Andrews.
Yeah, I get what you mean, man. I get what you mean.
Yeah. What I also think is really important is I don't think they would have got promoted under John Eustace, but the reality was they certainly did not look like they were going to be in a relegation battle under John Eustace.
Yeah.
And because their owners come in and went, we're going to flex our muscle, we're basically going to bring in football personalities that we're enamoured by and we know from when we've watched football. Like, Wayne Rooney, he's my idol, not mine, but that's what they're probably thinking. Like, he's a famous name, let's bring him in.
Yeah, because he was managing in America at that time, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
you know. I get what you mean. To be honest, I think Sheffield Wednesday, looking at it again, I think Sheffield Wednesday are down only because of goal difference. This time of year, goal difference does count, and look at the difference, minus 31, where everyone else, apart from Plymouth, are in the minus teens, really. So that's basically another point, isn't it? Yeah, I suppose, away from safety for Sheffield Wednesday. Stoke, you know, many people won't know this, but Stoke financially are one of the more secure clubs in the Championship because they're owned by Bet365.
Yeah. Yep.
The amount of money they have wasted in the seasons, very much like Birmingham. You point with Birmingham, Stoke. It's always been issues between Cardiff and Stoke, but it'd be good to see Stoke back down in League One.
Why don't you like Stoke?
Oh, there's always been issues between Cardiff and Stoke over the years. Oh, very much like Cardiff Leeds. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, but everyone has issues with Leeds. Like, who's offended by Stoke? They're nothing. And I really don't mean to sound arrogant when I say, but I get why Arsenal hate Stoke because whenever they went there, they kicked the shit out of them.
It goes back to the hooligan days, if I'm honest with you. Stoke were, because Cardiff and Stoke were always. Well, back in those days, Leeds were in the top division. Cardiff and Stoke went from like League One together to Championship, then into the Premier League. I know Stoke stayed there, but they kind of like, and it's not that many miles between us. You can get Stoke from Cardiff, maybe hour and a half, But Nathan is right here. Stoke is an absolute shithole.
The footballing heartland, Buckinghamshire.
Burnley till I die, Brownie knows. Yeah. I remember I was actually living in Australia at the time, but I remember Cardiff went to Stoke one day and just caused mayhem, absolute mayhem. It was. It's all on YouTube. Yeah, BX Gunner's in house. Yeah, everyone's going back to what you said with Arsenal and the link with Aaron Ramsey and Shawcross from there as well, and Eduardo in there as well.
Was it Ryan Shawcross, wasn't it? The specific instigator of that.
Isaac, rumours he's going to Arsenal. What do you think of that, Tom? And Tony is rumoured now to be going to West. Well, the thing is, really, even Tony, right? Now, many people don't agree with me on this, but if I was a Brentford fan, I'd be absolutely fucking furious.
I'd want to punch him.
Yeah, first of all,
he has no respect for his employer. Sorry.
Absolutely none. First of all, Brentford fucking on his first game back bent over the fucking table for him.
Yes, the king is back and all this.
It was like fucking. Well, you're a wrestling fan. It was like fucking SummerSlam or something. Do you know what I mean? When he's entering a fucking ring, and then all of a sudden, and you know what, like Tom, you know what? I listened or I watched Goldbridge yesterday, and I think he's touched on something. You guys in the chat can agree with me or not, Tom, right? But what Goldbridge said yesterday, because honestly, he is flirting with so many clubs. He's like, wow, basically, a hooker on a fucking in a red light district, waiting for the next car to come. That's how much flirting he's doing. And and Mark Goldbridge said that Arsenal don't want him because of his attitude, right? And that's probably that. But he's flirting so much that is it a telltale sign that actually no one has shown a real interest in him?
It's hard to say. I feel like this summer will obviously be really key. As in, if they can't shift him, there will obviously be a reason they cannot shift him. And that'll be what you say. It'll be what you say. There'll be character issues, I imagine. Because footballing-wise, the man bags goals. And, dare I say, is like a penalty-scoring machine.
The thing is, Tom, right? The thing is, the guy's 28 now. Yes, you can get, 3 or 4 years out of him still, right? But still 28, you don't really want to be spending, over 50 million, 60 million on someone who's 20. It's someone at 28, there's no resale value to it, right? It really isn't. And let's be completely honest. If this guy says that he's got a gambling problem, and we all know of countless now suspensions regarding gambling, and he's just come back from a gambling ban, what's to say that he signs for another club, and if he's got a gambling problem, then he fucking gambles even when he's with his new club. It's a big risk, man. It's a big risk.
I think it's really hypocritical of the league to have banned him for as long as they did, considering the amount of times he would have been seen posing next to Sky Bet and holding a Sky Bet trophy and stuff like this. And then it's like, are you expecting to be an ambassador for your brand, but you can't use your brand?
I get that. I completely see the hypocrisy.
I know what you're saying. I just think it's important to point that out.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what Joey Barton was saying, something very similar when he got banned.
Yeah.
Then you got the Tanoli one from Newcastle. Then you even had what's his name? Who's now the left back at Newcastle? What's his name?
Trippier? No,
yeah,
right.
Trippier was banned from playing football in the Premier League. That's the reason why he went to Spain, so he could spend his ban in La Liga. There's a big risk, and the amount of money Brentford would probably want for him, I can see it not being very attractive because of that kind of risk.
I don't think Brentford will get the money that they want for him. I think eventually their asking price will become lower because a lot of teams, for the reason you just said, you can't spend 60 million on Ivan Toney because you're not going to get that 60 million. You're not going to get close to that 60 million back. And in a financial fair play world where there are being points deductions handed out, teams are going to be very careful on what they're spending. But because of that, Brentford are also going to be very mindful, and they're going to want money in the bank. And their biggest asset to get that money in the bank at the moment is Ivan Toney. Therefore, they will probably compromise to get money in the coffers.
Yeah.
So I think if they ask for 60, they'll probably accept 30 when push comes to shove. People might say that's very silly, and you could well be right, but I think there is a possibility that a lot of teams are going to play a game of chicken with Brentford.
Yeah, and that lead leaves the door open then for teams like West Ham who were linked to him a couple of days ago. Let's call it as it is, middle of the road Premier League clubs. Thinking, okay, well, who?
I'd love to be one.
Miss Molina says she likes Watkins, Ollie Watkins. What's your thoughts on him?
I agree. I actually felt like we should have. When this is going to sound like hypothetical, I actually was disappointed we did not get him when we initially got promoted into the Premier League, because obviously we got promoted, Brentford didn't. So we were in a great position to take their biggest asset, which at the time was Ollie Watkins, because obviously Ivan Toney replaced Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
For anyone who did or didn't know or whatever, but I do believe he is. There's a player in there. They've got the best out of him, arguably. So I'm disappointed. Say that Rodrigo wasn't the worst, but maybe just what would life have been like if we had got Ollie Watkins at the time. But
then when Gerrard was manager of Villa, he was struggling to get into the starting 11, wasn't he? It just shows that some players can work under some managers and not under other managers,
Yeah, but Steven Gerrard also shows that. I was going to say that he doesn't know his arse from his elbow when he's managing, but he won the Scottish League. So.
Miss Molina, I agree, Miss Molina. Newcastle, they do foresee FFP issues. That's why they need to sell. They need to sell the likes of Isak, but it's easier to get out of an FFP issue if you sign one of your own, because it's clear 100% profit on the accountancy books.
Mm.
That's why there's a big rumor Longstaff may go or someone like that.
Yeah, I've heard that a certain team in West Yorkshire is looking at Longstaff. Sorry, that was presumptuous on me. If that certain team from West Yorkshire gets promoted, I've heard that it is essentially a done deal. That Longstaff will be playing for that team in West Yorkshire.
And on about FFP, let's go on to Leicester, because I've heard some. I've been watching YouTube for the last week, and listen, I try and support as many different channels as possible. But what does my head in is that when subjects are brought up and absolute no fucking homework on them subjects was ever done, and mental random fucking comments are coming out, and I'm thinking to myself, because I am a nerd, I am a football finance nerd when it comes to it. I love the Price of Football podcast with Keelan Maguire. And I love listening to Simon Jordan on Talk Sport. And some of the things when I'm watching YouTube and some of the things about Leicester, I'm thinking, no, that's not right. And then I'm doing my research. So let's get the facts out there. Leicester City, okay, they've done FFP, or the claim is they've done FFP. We got relegated, and EFL have said, right, sorry, Leicester City, we're charging you with FFP. Leicester in the hearing, Leicester win that hearing because they defended, sorry, EFL, we weren't in your league when during the season. So now the Premier League say, okay, well, if you won me, we are taking you because you were in our league. Now Leicester are trying to say, oh no, we're not in your league now. You can't, right? So we can't. But at the same time, Leicester have not even They've got the audacity to defend themselves. They've not even published the fucking accounts with Company's House for the seasons in question. Now, Tom, I don't know if you've ever been self-employed. I have, and I'll be honest with you. If you're self-employed in the UK and your accounts are fucking late, you'll be fined and you'll be hounded constantly. How have Leicester got away with it for so fucking long? I don't know. It's only coming out because of this FFP thing. Tom, sorry.
My favourite part of that is how a lot of people may or may not know they were fucking lucky they even got in the Premier League in the first place because they were going to fail FFP in like 2014. So this actually goes back about 10 years. They only got away with it literally because they happened to win the championship, if I remember rightly. And so obviously, like you say, they believe they're out of the championship's jurisdiction.
Yeah.
And so obviously it never really became an issue. They won the Premier League, started handing out Champions League level contracts. The key thing in that contract is if you're a Champions League team, you tend to not assume you're going to get relegated. So you don't offer the relegation pay cut.
Yeah.
Which for a team like Leicester, and I'm not insulting Leicester when I say this, but they are a perennial lower Premier League team. Dare I say, they would always be in a relegation battle when they were in the Premier League. So to not offer that is fucking insanity. Okay? Pardon my language. I think it was incredibly arrogant to then spend Champions League money on players that were quite obviously not Champions League calibre. Of course, the players are going to take the money that's being offered to them, or they ask for and get given. But yeah, they won the FA Cup. That's true. But ultimately, where did that help them? Apart from then when they then finished fourth. Sorry, I got that wrong. They finished them fifth like 3 days later or something like that. Because didn't Chelsea then beat them in the game that they played 3 days later? Sounds silly like that. Because the FA Cup final was before the last couple of games, right? But I just find it massively arrogant of them to think we are so far clear in this league. Because they were. Let's not beat around the bush here. They were so far ahead in the championship that they essentially had this arrogance to sit there and then go, we don't have to publish our accounts, we're definitely not going to be in this league this time next year anyway, is essentially what they've said.
Well, we haven't published them for 3 years, mate.
No, but they know that they'll get away with it because the Premier League won't give a shit. Premier League, like everyone here, does what they want.
This is the thing, you see. Clubs like Leicester, Everton, they know. Look, and Forest as well. They always thought that when the seasons were going, an FFP will just be a fine. That's what Kieran Maguire said. Previously, they were fines. Now, because the government, let's be honest, it's election time as well in the UK. And the government want an arbitrator. Now, it is an arbitrator, isn't it?
Yeah, they want
like an arbitrator.
Yeah.
Stan knows. Anyway, basically, they want a government worker or a government executive to oversee what it's doing. Because let's be completely honest, the Premier League are eating themselves alive at the moment. Right? And it is not a good look. Not a good look whatsoever. So, since the government has been putting pressure on the Premier League, saying, look, get your own house in order, otherwise we're coming in and sorting it for you. Then, all of a sudden, Premier League are going, fuck, FFP to you, FFP to you, FFP to you, whereas previously it's all been fines. So now, this is why the likes of Nottingham Forest are complaining, because at the time in which the FFP charges come in from, at that time they were still only fining other clubs. You know, and it'd be interesting in a way. And I think Stefan agrees with me here. I don't know if you do, Tom, but in a way, let's be honest. 20 clubs, it is 20, isn't it, in the Premier League? 20 clubs, the Premier League control themselves. Everything goes on a vote. So these FFP rules were all voted in by the Premier League clubs. It's their own rules, right? Now, what I personally think is that it does damage a new owner coming in to buy the club who wants to try and expand his business is then stopped. For example, I can't remember a figure, but let's say it has to be on turnover now. The new rule is on turnover, isn't it? So what is it? 70% or 80% of a turnover figure you can spend on transfers?
I think they're going up to 85%, aren't they? Right.
Well, go 85. Go 85%. You got Manchester City, whose turnover, I don't know, call it £500 million. Okay, so you got 80, so they can spend 85% of that £500 million on players. But yet you got likes of Luton, whose turnover may be 20 million, and they can only spend 80% of that 20 million. Now, surely that is putting a lid on an ambitious new owner. You know? So that's kind of completely unbalanced towards the bigger clubs in the Premier League.
It is. That's it. Ultimately, this big six are just going to look out for themselves. But they still need to be mindful that part of their product is they need teams to beat every week.
Yeah.
The other 14 are simply people to beat every week, to give people a reason to watch them. That's how they treat it.
Kevin Mark, hi Kev. Sorry, mate. We're in a conversation when you come in the chat. Hope you're well, and it has been quite a long time. Burnley till I die. It was 105 every year for the last 3 years, but it's now changed. We've changed it in the last few weeks. It's now going on percentage of turnover. You know, rather than 105.
I suspect that this may, I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but I do suspect that this turnover thing is going to conveniently allow Manchester City to pass the financial fair play.
Oh.
Which would open up a massive can of worms.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be court cases left, right, and centre. The only people winning at the moment are the lawyers.
Especially the ones that are charged by the word.
Jeez. It's fucking mad, isn't it? It is fucking mad. You can't, you know what? You know what's fucking mad, right, Tom? We're supporter of championship clubs. The EFL are more strict on FFP than fucking the Premier League have ever been. I remember QPR. QPR got done for like 40 million pounds. Will City's turnover include? Yes, it's turnover as business as a whole, my friend.
If it comes through the gate.
Yeah, turnover, you know, so you've...
My understanding, though, I don't know if I'm wrong, Brownie. My understanding is if you spend money on your stadium, say like you build a new stand tomorrow, that doesn't count on your financial fair play, does it?
Well, it says no. I don't know. With Everton,
Well, because didn't they do dodgy accounting, which then try to move money around and stuff like that?
it all depends who you listen to, if I'm honest with you, Tom.
Right, okay.
Some are saying, some people are saying with Everton, but they were pushed over the limit because of interest on the new stadium. But then, if you listen to some financial experts, not Hugh Maguire, but other ones, they're saying no. That's just that's just a story Everton are trying to appease their fans.
Right, because say like you build a training ground for your youth team, that does not count because anything that is for the infrastructure of your club is permissible, to my understanding.
I heard that non-playing.
Yeah.
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 I've heard that, but
That's my understanding of it, but that doesn't necessarily mean my understanding is correct. But like Leicester built a massive training facility. And I know they're going to fail financial fair play, but apparently it's not because they built the training facility.
yeah. No. It's like the offside rule, isn't it? There's so many grey fucking areas. You don't really know what. Do you know what I mean? You don't really know what the fuck is going on. What's the ways on here now? Brownies. Heard a lot of people when we learned the champions. Leave it out the ways, will you? Bloody hell.
Oh no, I found it very funny that they won it, personally.
My old man was a Man City fan, right? And he used to go Main Road. He took me a Main Road years ago, and when he started winning, he hated it. He hated it because that wasn't a club in which he fell in love with. He fell in love with a club which was not successful. Didn't give a flying fuck whether he won, lose or draw. And it was just the old-fashioned working class club. Do you know what I mean? And go on, sorry.
No, I get what you're saying because I'll tell you a story about. Admittedly, it's about my own team, but our old chairman, Andrea Radrizzani, it turns out his mates or like businessmen mates or whatever with the owner of PSG or the chairman of PSG, not necessarily the owner, but the face of their ownership, let's just say. So then whenever it came round to like FIFA awards night and things like this, he would always get invited and he would always be seen with the PSG owner or chairman or the face of, yeah, anyway, I've done that. And it would always, you'd always get these rumours like, oh, Leeds could get bought by QSI or whatever it is called out there. Was it Qatari Sports Investment? And you'd always get the real weird excitement of Leeds fans being like, oh my God, man, imagine Leeds could buy Mbappe and sort of things like this. And I'd be sitting there, I'll sit there and I think, yeah, but I'd hate this to happen because it would feel artificial.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's what happened to Cardiff. And we still got that fucking idiot, Vincent Tan, still in charge of the club. But when Sam Aman was in charge, you know, looking back, he absolutely ripped us off left, right, and centre. But at the time, he was one of us. Do you know what I mean? He used us to make as much money as possible. Vincent Tan dropped the local academy, which only a few years earlier produced likes of Aaron Ramsey, fucking Joe Ledley, Chris Gunter, everyone else. He dropped that and tried to created a Cardiff City academy in Malaysia. Listen to this now, yeah, right? So in Malaysia. So all the funding just went from not scouting locally ever in Malaysia. Then all of a sudden, after a few years of this, they thought they found the Malaysian Maradona, right? So Vincent Tan said, right, we're going to get him to Cardiff City. He's going. They didn't fucking think that the guy would need a fucking work permit. So after that, and then he realized, oh fuck, we can't get no one to Cardiff City because of work permit. They fucking stopped it.
I thought that story had a different ending. Sorry, you said an options Gideon, and I thought, oh god, is he gonna say the part where he sends the helicopter?
No. No.
Obviously, that was a tragedy.
No, but before they had a fucking Malaysian Maradona. Yeah. All the hype, this guy is fucking brilliant, you know. Do you know what I mean? You fucking couldn't even get a work permit, a daft cunt. Do you know what I mean? Right, let's go to... Have you been on the Facebook page or the community page lately, Tom? Let's go and see what...
You've got a community page? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, on the YouTube. I try and share things as much as I can on it. I've had some good comments on it, to be honest, of lately. I've had some good comments. I've one guy, because I try and share some of the stories as much as possible. One guy said, is this profile run by the sun? Okay, let's go into... come on. Fucking laptop, man. It's so slow. Right, guys, check us out on the Facebook. There's some of these things on the community page anyway, but good. Right, so scroll down. Oh yeah, Phil Foden as a kid. You've seen this, Tom? What's this now? He goes down the keeper. Easy. Right, were you old enough, Tom? First ever Football Manager on a Spectrum or Commodore. Do you remember that?
No. I mean, no. My first Football Manager was, I picked Football Manager 99. So okay. No, basically. No. So
no, this was like 84, 85.
Oh my
God. The size of the goals compared to the matchstick men. That always used to make me laugh.
I mean, they should score every shot, considering the size of the goal.
Yeah, I know.
Amazing.
Yeah, last night. Huh?
No, just
you are.
I'm fascinated by the size of the goal compared to the play.
Yeah, I know. Mad, it's huge.
Great stuff.
Okay. Mason Greenwood. What's your opinion on him?
I'll put it this way. My personal opinion is that just because you're not going to be found guilty doesn't mean you didn't do what you're accused of.
Yes.
Because everyone knows you were a disgusting little fucker. You dirty bully, whatever. And sorry, I probably can't use the sort of words.
No, what? Hey, listen. She wouldn't have done that and put the audio on there as well on social media. She wouldn't have done that if she thought that she needed evidence to back it up. As Stefan says, tapes don't lie. Right? And I know, because Stefan will know, Aways may know, I don't know. But when I put that original, I had a court threatening court letter from Manchester United at the time. Right? Because no other media, because I was based in Spain, they couldn't get me. But I ran with it. And I was convinced about it as well, because I was working for a Spanish paper at the same time. Right? I knew what what went on. And Greenwood and Manchester United blocked the press from reporting a lot of the evidence which had come up in court. So, yeah, I think it'd be an absolute disgrace. I think it'd be an absolute disgrace if I think it'd be the end of Southgate if he's called out. I really do. PR wise, I think it'll be the end of him. He's walking a tight rope at the moment.
He won't get picked. He won't. I'll put it this way. I'll be very surprised if in a modern society and the way people treat these situations.
Well, you think that, but the amount, I'm not kidding you, Tom, right? If you look at other YouTube channels or you look at social media and all that, now I know social media is a worldwide thing, yeah? But I've been so surprised the amount of support he gets. And yes, I know that a lot of it is from certain areas of the world, which, I'm going to call it out because certain areas of the world don't value women as much as people in Europe or the UK or in America. I spent 2-3 years in the Middle East. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Believe me.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember when these two were best mates, Tom?
That must have been awkward.
What else we got on here? I completely. Oh yeah.
Sorry.
We all remember doing this on a Sunday morning. Surely we all remember doing this on a Sunday morning.
Yes. Yeah.
Pissed up and everything. But you know what? The amount of people, I've shared this on other like Facebook pages and so on, right? But the amount of people who said they've seen someone or it happened to themselves have their finger ripped off because their wedding ring was caught on the crossbar.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether it was just Welsh crossbars back in the day, but we never had any hooks or anything. But apparently many people did get. I didn't know that. At all. And we're going about the FFP issue. Oh, there you go. Well, I showed you this the other week. But look at a young brownie with his broken arm there, being mascot. Copa America.
I saw that earlier in the week. It went on your community page, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I've seen it. I thought
someone did mention, look, the home mascot. They said they could have bought him a kit.
Well, I imagine for that sort of club in 1995, you're lucky to. They probably can't even afford to give you a kit, can they?
They give it. Yeah, the home kit. I'm wearing the home kit. They Merthyr back then were in the National League, what they call National League now.
Yeah.
And because of my previous drug kind of lapses, one of my friends put a comment on there, and he says Hoover on about the advert in which of the kit I'm wearing. People are thinking of hoovering up a dust. Never mind, that's another thing, right? The Copa America, the draw was being made. And it's actually in America these days, in the summer.
Oh.
And
Bielsa versus America. Very nice.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I'm thinking Argentina, Chile. I looked at that one as well. My birthday is in June.
I'm probably going to bet. I've got a plan. I'm going to bet on the 15 teams that are not Uruguay. So then hopefully Uruguay will win it.
It's the Copa America every 2 years.
No, it's every 4, but I think they've been doing like these. They've got these weird reasons, like the 100th anniversary of the Common Bowl Federation, and that's why there was one in 2015 and 2016 because I had one 2 years in a row. But generally, it's meant to be every 4. It used to be 2 years, but I think because clubs didn't want to release their players every 2 years, they made it 4.
I agree. And Truro City, have you heard about this? Now, people have come back to me and said Plymouth Parkway are in a worse situation. Truro and Plymouth Parkway are both in the same kind of area, South Devon or Cornwall area. So, Truro City has now got to play 13 games in 28 days, right? Because of a constant waterlogged issues of a pitch. So the manager says we're playing Saturday, Tuesday, Friday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or we got to fit another game in there somehow. You know, can you imagine Klopp having that kind of fixture backlog?
Well, they'd never lose any of the games because whenever he loses a game, there's always an excuse. So it'll be, the wind, the grass was too long.
And bearing in
mind, my striker couldn't get the day off work.
Exactly. Bearing in mind, these are players who actually have full-time jobs as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so how is that fair? Let's say when someone comes and mentions Plymouth Parkway. Gareth Bale, first ever hole-in-one. Here we go.
It's about time. He's only been practicing for about 15 years.
Someone tells me that's... are you into your golf, Tom?
I keep a loose ear to what's going on because of my work, let's just say.
Yeah.
It's helpful to be aware of what's going on in sport, even if I'm not necessarily massively interested in watching it.
Fair play to him. You know what? My claim to fame of golf, I actually did have a hole-in-one, but I sliced it so much it was a hole-in-one in the wrong hole. There you go. We're on about. I hate this. Astrid Wet. I hate this girl, honestly, and it's not. Other girls are popping up on my Twitter feed now, very, very similar. Basically, using football fans to get. So this woman comes on Southampton biggest selling group. Pat Walters, bless her. Right. Obviously, it's a picture of Astrid Wet. Now, people don't know.
I know what this is going to say. I know what it's going to say. I've seen it.
You don't know. She's an OnlyFans. OnlyFans, basically a stripper, right? An online hooker, right? So poor old Pat Walters went on. Hi, sorry if not allowed. Does anyone know this girl? She's stolen thousands of pounds from me and my husband. Police are not even interested, unfortunately. She's from Southampton. Please, private message.
She's not from Southampton, unless it turns out she is. I don't actually know much about apart from
can you imagine what the husband's face is like?
Have you seen her latest tactic? Is to she's basically got like a harem of like ladies who represent different clubs. Like, because she got caught out, didn't she? Because one of them had trainers on that. I don't know how to explain it without sounding weird, but basically someone found out that her trainers were visible in another photo or footage with Astrid Wet. So basically, they're all working together. They're creating these fake rivalries and like fake boxing matches and stuff like this. And I don't want to say I hate her, but I don't think she should exist.
I viewed that. Right. listen, let's not go on ahead. It's gone nearly an hour and a half. I'm freaking knackered. I need to eat. And no doubt you as well. I know it's going off a little bit in the chat as well. So let's not. Let's just not go on ahead. I think we all tired. And I need a phone. I need a phone Spain as well, who are actually an hour ahead. So listen, Tom, many thanks for joining. Guys in the chat, many thanks as well. Listen, we're all tired. We're all, like, by the by, whatever's been said or anything, let's just fucking...
Yep.
Let's just... Listen... From someone whose father recently passed away, let's just be mindful that thank you living days that you're still on this planet, even though if you had a bad day or a good day or an indifferent day, tomorrow's always going to be better. Okay, until next time, adios, hasta luego, and even for Aways himself, salam alaikum, Aways, alaikum assalam. Right.
Take care of yourselves and each other. Scary Springer.
Adios, hasta luego, salam alaikum. Ciao.